Yo, what's going on, new Fighting Order fans? It's your boy D Mizzle Farizzle, taking the place of Alex Lexus, who's doing his 2 weeks in the desert thing for the Army Reserves, but we got his back, so shout out to him. And today's topic is the Microsoft press conference at E3. I'm being joined by Nelson Rios, Shinwar, and my brother Newt. What's going on, folks?
Yo, what up, what up, what up?
What's up?
Get
All
down
right,
to
so
business.
let's jump into this right off the bat. We all recognize that Microsoft was coming off a week of really bad news, and the bar was set really high for them. What they had to do, they had to come with it, they had to bring it, and I felt that they did. What do you guys think?
Who's going first?
Well, I was impressed. Visually the games look great. I like the opening with the new Metal Gear Solid game. With it being open world. I think visually I was really impressed, but then it comes down to gameplay, when all the games are released, but so far 2 thumbs up for the Microsoft conference.
All right, what's going on, brother Newt? Tell them why you mad, son.
Damn. Well, I think a lot of people from the earlier conference, the reveal or whatever, everyone was doubting Xbox. They say they're going away from gaming. And you have to realize there's a market strategy. E3 is for the gaming. So they took the opportunity to explain, the hardware part of it and what it can do beyond gaming. And now when it comes to the game, you get 2 jabs, a right hook, and a left uppercut to the chin. They knocked it out. I was very impressed. I'm very excited. I was on the fence, but now I'm back on the Xbox side of things. I do want to say that, we haven't seen, Sony's conference, but Sony's going to have to do a lot because Xbox really impressed me today. And especially for the type of gamer that I am, the new integrations that they're going to have, I can't wait to see.
All right, that's what it is. And next, but we have the nearly dead Nelson Rios, so try not to die on the stream. What do you think about it, Nelson? What do you think of the conference?
Well, just to let you guys know, I already fully paid off for the Xbox One, so that's a guess that defies my answer. But to add on to that, I like the fact that how to stray away a bit. When Sony came out with their conference and their specs for the actual console, they introduced remote play. They introduced live integration streaming. They introduced party chat among like other things and so forth. Why did Microsoft take those ideas and made it better? I'm just saying. So now, from what I hear, we have Twitch partnering up with Microsoft. That come on, we knew that was gonna happen. The Xbox One does have remote play, just like the PlayStation 4 does. We saw that shit coming too. And not only that, but they announced my favorite game, which we will get into in a little bit. But yeah, I already fully paid off.
Yes, we will.
I already fully paid off my $4.99 to Microsoft, and yeah.
So that pretty much means Nelson's not going to Tampa no more. His vacation money is done.
Damn, my personal info on blast. God damn.
But we're going to jump into the games, and as Shinwar alluded to earlier, the first game on tap right out the jump, nobody on stage, was Metal Gear 5, The Phantom Pain. And I will admit that not being a Metal Gear Solid fan, I was very impressed. Impressed by it. And that comes, like, dedicated Metal Gear Solid hater. You've heard me on a past podcast spitting venom towards Kojima and Konami about Metal Gear Solid. Very impressed by it. Open world scenario. It looks to be a prequel to the original Metal Gear. So let's go in order. Shinwar, what were your impressions on Metal Gear Solid 5?
My impressions were, I was impressed visually, with Snake on the horse riding. Immediately, I thought about Red Dead Redemption. I was like, wow. They were talking about open world, and they just showed different clips, him and the what was that, like a shack type thing? Him dismantling the enemies. It looked nice. It looked real good. I've never been a Metal Gear fan, just like you, Demizu. But who knows? You know, this may sway me. But I thought it was good.
Kool-Aid tastes good coming up. Newt.
Shut up. That Kool-Aid is great. I'm a huge Metal Gear fan. Of the classic Metal Gear with the sneaky stealth. I didn't try out the new one, Rising or whatever, but I was very impressed. It looked very, very good. That was the thing that really caught me. It looked visually stunning. It'll be interesting to see where it falls in the timeline. It's definitely a prequel because you see Ocelot in there, and you know later on that Snake actually fights Ocelot or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see where it falls in the timeline, but I'm glad to see that Xbox is finally getting some classic Metal Gear action, and that a franchise that I've loved ever since PS1 is still alive and well, and looks like they're getting back to those sneaky, stealthy roots. So I'm very happy to see that one.
All right. Now we move to the nearly dead Nelson Rios. Let's hear what you got to say about Metal Gear.
Basically, I was really impressed. I honestly thought it would have been like an Assassin's Creed game, the way how it visually started out. But it did turn out to be the Phantom Pain or Metal Gear Solid 5, as you guys know. For it being to an open world game is actually pretty cool because we always wanted to see how Snake would operate in an open world environment. The only thing that we got closest to it was Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. But honestly, like it really visually it looks good. The way how the gameplay, from what I can see, it looks like a mixture of Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, a little bit of Prince of Persia, but it brought back a lot of familiar faces, a lot of new faces of characters, and it's going to tie in really well with the addition of Xbox One. Hopefully it's a launch title, so I can add it on to my $4.99, which I already blown like fucking nuts. And hopefully with the thing that I saw in the trailer, it has realistic real-time mechanics where it affects the game itself. It'll turn from night to day at will. Probably it will affect it by weather, depending on like if we get to pick like a specific time zone, I hope. But the game looks really good, and I can't wait till it drops.
All right, that's what it is about Metal Gear. We're going to move into another title that originally was supposed to be on Xbox 360, and it was supposed to be a Kinect game, and it was done by the CryEngine team, but they revealed it as an Xbox One game coming out at launch, and it's called Rise. So when it was revealed last year, it was originally supposed to be like a Kinect-style beat-em-up with you doing the actions and emotions, and I guess that was nixed in favor of it being an Xbox One game. And what they showed was very impressive to me. It was quick-time event heavy, but I liked the way that played into the gameplay. Like, the quick-time events were tied into the finishing moves, slashing off of the limbs, and the fidelity of the game, like when you ran, you heard the guy's armor chink and shake and the metal plates rustling up against each other. That looks to be a hot launch title, and it's a blockbuster. So Shinwa, let's hear what you got to think about Rise.
Yeah, man. When I saw that, like, I just gravitated to the screen, like, wow. Like, to me, it looked like a realistic, this is going to sound stupid, but like a realistic God of War. Like, I know that doesn't make sense, but dude, with them rushing up to the beach and you see his crew getting taken down and he's still moving forward, fighting, parrying with the shield. The combat looks real nice. Like you said, it was QTE heavy, but who knows, that can still be tweaked. But just the gameplay was just incredible. Like, just real time, like the guys fighting. And then I don't know if we're gonna talk about the smart glass part right now, but with the smart
we
glass
can go into
added
that
in,
too.
like, dude, that was just bananas, man. The way the smart glass is integrated in, like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. Like, I'm gonna get it. It looks good.
All right, what's going on, Kool-Aid Newt?
Oh my gosh, these nicknames. Yeah, basically what Shinwar said, man. The game was very dynamic. The graphics looked superb. It looks like an early next gen game. And it's a great example of what I think is to come. And yes, it did have a lot of quick time events. But I was wondering if those are possibly optional. Like, cause I saw him kept attacking the guy even though the button was above his head. So maybe you can do it, maybe you don't. But the thing I did like about it is like, if you look at a lot of the movies like 300 and stuff, that's how they killed a lot of the enemies. They kind of looked like that. Now I felt like I was
Yeah,
watching a movie almost.
and
And
you
one
know
thing
what,
I
Luke?
really, what's up?
No, go ahead. No, I think you're right
No, go
with the
ahead.
QTE. I think it's only like that Y and the B button because there was no X button. I don't remember seeing or an A button, but I could be wrong. I believe I just saw Y and B, but who
True.
knows? Go ahead.
I,
Yeah. The thing that really caught me though was, and a lot of people don't catch stuff like this, was in the background when they took over the catapult and it hit the building, the way that the building fell apart, it wasn't like a predetermined chunk of anything or a certain block. It crumbled as if it was, if you were in the real world and something were to blow up and crumble, that's how it crumbled. And it looked gorgeous. It was like all real time. And I really liked it. Very impressed by that game.
just a quick side note. It looked like the quick time events, even though it was quick time event heavy, it looked like similar to God of War, like they were tied into finishing maneuvers, like final
Mm-hmm.
strike maneuvers. So I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to be like just, all right, run up to a guy, hit X, chop off his head, run up to a guy, hit B, slice off his leg, stuff like that. So Nelson, what did you think about Rise?
I think the game was actually really visually. It was a really good game. The way how they came off the beach and they were just like rushing up to the tower to get to that checkpoint. The combat system, it seemed a little bit clunky at first. It probably because it's a video. I don't know. They might get tweaked up during the final product. Um, like vocally, like when they was talking, it was realistic. Like the lips were moving like in real time. It wasn't like like a Japanese film where they'll talk and the shit comes after or something like that. Um, I would like to see what other aspects of the game will happen. Like I don't know if it's gonna be like specific time periods of Rome or anything like that, but I am really impressed by it. Me personally, I would not pick up a game like that because to me it's too simplistic. But it's definitely something to look into and probably review it if I get a chance at like a demo or something.
All right, I feel you. I feel you. And now we're gonna move on to one of the major reveals. Something I think when Nelson saw it, he jizzed his pants, just exploded. And we're talking about Killer Instinct,
You're
the
stupid.
game that everybody's been waiting for 15 long years to come out, and everybody's been begging Microsoft since they acquired Rare. Why don't they release Killer Instinct? Why don't they release Killer Instinct? Where's Killer Instinct? Why didn't they release it? Well, folks, here it is. And everybody kind of knew this was coming because of the deal that Microsoft and Fox worked out where Microsoft can use the name Killer Instinct in regards to a video game, and Fox movies and television studios can use it in regards to television shows because they did make a pretty bad television show called Killer Instinct. Nobody remembers it, thank God. But to change things up a bit, we're going to start with Nelson Rios because I know he has a lot to say about Killer Instinct, don't you?
I'm just saying, as a Killer Instinct 1 and Killer Instinct Gold fan, I'm impressed that they actually resurrected one of my favorite fighting games of all time. And sadly, they only showed three characters. I hopefully get to see Fulgore, Orchid, and the rest of the cast. But when they showed the little brief gameplay footage when they was going into from Rise into the preloading matchup into joining Killer Instinct, and I was just impressed, just like at all. The game visually looks good, and for it to be able
Yeah.
to render itself and not pixelate and not have slowdowns when all the dynamic feel comes out, like when Jago threw out his fireball and it blew up on Saberwolf's face. You saw literally every single particle blast out from that fireball, and just to relive the original voices from the characters, to relive the original announcer commentating over the fight. It's just gonna be a really good fighting game to have back, and for the what you call them, the 09ers, to show the 09ers of what a good fighting game was before we got all this rehashed bullshit that we have now.
All right. Well, Noop, let's hear your opinion on Killer Instinct. What do you think of the? Because I remember I was watching it with you, and you just got surprised, and they sprung it on us, man. They sprung it on us.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. It's just like doo-doo-doo. They're also. Did he mention the arcade stick?
Oh no, we did not mention the arcade stick. The arcade stick, the Mad Catz version 2 arcade stick is launching alongside Killer Instinct.
Yep, it's gonna be launching right alongside.
So those of you if they stick with that 150 price range, yeah, you better be prepared to get your Xbox One and drop another 200 right next to it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And see, a lot of you, people use arcade sticks. We still don't know if those. I don't know particularly if all of our peripherals are backwards compatible or not. But looking at Killer Instinct, I'm gonna be a little cautious. The gameplay, it looked okay. Visually it looked good, and I was excited and I was hyped. But as of late, fighting games honestly have been letting me down. And I don't know if they're gonna stick to the original Killer Instinct mechanics and just add on to it, or if they gutted it completely. Because when I was looking at it, I saw some things that you didn't really do in the original. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. That looks cool. Until I get my hands on it and actually play it, then I'll truly express my excitement for it. But right now, I'm just going to be cautious. But I am glad that it's back, and it's an Xbox One exclusive. Yeah.
Preach, brother. Noop, preach. And we going to move on to Shinwar. What'd you think of Killer Instinct, man? I know this is a title that you too, because I remember back in high school, we used to play this to death.
Yeah. Dude, I was hype. That intro was incredible with the KI flashing with the green like DX. But the game, it looks good. And just on a sidebar, if Killer Instinct looks like that on Xbox One, I can imagine the next installment of Street Fighter on Xbox One, but that's a completely different topic for a completely different time. But visually, it looked good. Looked real smooth. They announced Glacius, Saberwolf, and Jago. I'm not too keen on Jago's new look, but obviously there's going to be a backdrop, a story related to that. The music, the remix themes sound crazy. Like, I was so hyped. But I'm looking forward to the new Killer Instinct game. Looks good.
I've been lifelong.
I'm sorry. In the streaming, they're talking about the streaming and taking video clips and just the amount of features, not just for that game, but obviously all the games. But they really showed some of it for Killer Instinct, just for what editing clips and streaming it and putting it out there, sharing it with your friends. It's gonna be a new world opening up, man. Just like Nelson said, for them old Niners, it's about to get real, man.
And let me chime in. Let me chime in and steal what Shinwar been saying. You mad?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you mad? You really? All you people who because I like the trash talk. The game is stepping up now that you can be blasted, you can be streamed, and you can instantly, as soon as you get your behind tore up, somebody can upload a video of it. So
and you know
what
would be
step
good?
your game up.
You know what'd be real good? Just real quick. If someone rage quits on you, but yet you still have the video from that. Because remember, Street
That's
Fighter, if they rage quit, you don't have the video anymore.
Xbox One, you
The
do.
and
replay, you
that
don't have
is
the
true.
replay.
Xbox One, you will.
All right, and since
Yep.
we touched on this, like this is something that's near and dear to Nelson Rios' heart. The Twitch partnership. We saw them upload an app for that
Man.
for Xbox 360, and it was kind of limited, but that was the beginning of the partnership. But it wasn't fully explained during the conference at E3, but they did expand upon it a lot when they went into the Killer Instinct stuff. So Nelson's more of the expert on the Twitch side of things than I am, so I'm going to let him speak on this. So go ahead, Nelson.
Okay. With the partnership from Twitch.tv now available on Xbox One, it not only. I'm not speaking in the sense of just like what we saw in the conference, I'm speaking in general for us as well. It's going to open up a whole new feel for us now because, let's say, for an example, we already know I already bought the fucking console, so that's a given. So myself, Demizzle, Noob, Shenwar,
gosh.
Alex, we all have Xbox One, right? Now, since the fact that we're video game journalists and we do podcasts and we do live stream, we do events, we're able to make everything so much more fucking convenient now due to the fact of the partnership exclusively from Microsoft and Twitch.tv of every single game integrated to a Twitch.tv functionality with live in-game chat, live recording, straight up upload to YouTube, along with what Shinwar said with that game PVR where you could literally record your matches as it goes on. If you rage quit, too bad. You still being put on blast. So I know for a given the Ustream partnership with PlayStation 4, I'm sorry, but you chose the wrong stream support. Xbox chose the right one. And it's going to basically make a whole new world of streamers to come about. Anyone who never had a high-end computer or just enough of the software to be able to emit this feature, Xbox One will not only help New Fighting Order to grow bigger, but I'm going to put so many people on blast.
Think about it from a tournament perspective. Instead of like just seeing the one screen, you can see everybody that's playing at the tournament now. Because like
in a sense you can, but
every console,
you have to have multiple websites up though. Like it's not going to be merged onto one damn thing.
Oh, I know, but like say Team Spooky is hosting a tournament, and they got 8 boxes running. Like, and you want to see a specific, like, instead of having to wait for specific people to play, they can have everybody going, and you can choose who you want to see play.
In a sense, yeah, but that means it's multiple feed cutoffs, and the whole purpose of streaming is not to have any feed interruptions. To have a good quality stream, it needs to be flow. So it has to be dedicated still to one box, and you have to, I guess, unless you do it like this, Noop, which kind of defeats the purpose of like streaming from the Xbox One, you would need to have multiple capture cards on your computer to be able to switch from console to console to be able to capture those games for the stream. And that will honestly be a waste of time.
That is a good point.
That will really be a waste of time. But I am still very hyped, very happy that this Twitch support is going to make the Xbox One grow along with the game PVR. And also, which I will add in here because I don't know if anyone else will, they also integrated remote play just like the PlayStation 4. So if you are having trouble with a certain spot in your game and you need help, someone on your friends list can take over and finish that section for you and give you backup control. That is a great functionality to have.
I
mean, it's a great functionality, but at the same time, I think certain hack abilities will be coming about
I mean, if
That's all I got to say.
I mean,
That's all I
if
got
they
to say about
limit,
that.
I mean, if they limit to the usage of what you can do and not mess around, like as of, let's say they lock the dashboard access, they lock the friendship access, they unlock,
Right.
you know, if they just make it focus to the main game and only the main game mechanics, then that's acceptable. I wouldn't want my friends to be messing around like, oh, who's this on your friends list? Oh, what's this?
All you need is a security hole, yo. They're in.
Yeah, I mean,
No, you're right though.
but
All right.
it's still a very useful tool to have. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to make a quick money scam off of this, but I can tell you right now, for you fighting game community members, you are going, and I can guarantee, you are going to use this feature to be able to get money by hour for this access. I guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that in the quick money
Like,
schemes.
so New, what'd you think about the Twitch TV aspect of it? If you have anything to add.
Nothing to add, man. I just think it's great, and I'm new to the whole streaming thing, so it'll be great, man. And it'll also broaden the horizons for those of us who only play certain genres, and we want to see a different type of game. You know, like right now I'm playing The Witcher 2, and you know, a lot of people, my friends are so like, oh, what's that about? What's it like? It'd be cool if like, you know, hey, get on Twitch, man. You can watch me play it for a little while. So I think it'll open up a whole new world for other people.
All right, I feel that. And Shinwar, you got anything to add on to Nelson's mountain of information? You got a cherry on top for us?
No, he said everything. He said everything. We'll see. It looks good. I ain't even gonna front, like that's revolutionary, and that's what it's about.
All right, and we're gonna move right along to a game that's near and dear to my heart, a series that I love, that I've been like shouting out since it came out on the original Xbox, that is better than Gran Turismo in every way, and that's Forza. Forza 5, people. Forza 5, people. Forza 5. It's coming out as a launch title, day one, and it said that they're gonna change the way the game is played. They're changing it all up. It looks great. They're doing stuff with the cloud computing, that they're trying to get rid of AI, and they're gonna have like a driver avatar in the cloud,
Yes,
where it learns from your driving abilities, and even when you're not playing, your driver avatar is out there driving for you. It's doing dirty work. It's getting down. It's learning. So
Yes,
I want to give it to Newt, because he's obviously excited about Forza 5 just as much as I am. So go ahead, Newt, get it off your chest.
Hey, yo.
As far
Hot off
as
the
racing
chest.
simulation, shut up, yo. As far as don't start that. All right. As far as racing, oh, by the way, I got a thunderstorm going on down here, so I get cut off. Holla. But as far as racing simulation goes, Forza, in my opinion, is unmatched. It is awesome. It is beautiful. It is great. These guys have the inside track with the actual car companies. These guys go to these companies. They get in these cars. They drive these cars. So when you pick up a controller, you truly have the look, sound, and feel of that car. Like at the conference themselves, they had one of only two of the McLarens at the actual conference just to show how connected they were. One of only two cars made in the entire world at an Xbox conference. Now, graphically, looks great. The AI system that they've implemented, where the game actually learns how you play. So in your absence, I'm assuming what happens is, if I'm playing a single player game, it'll download from the cloud a bunch of other player profiles, and I'm racing against these guys rather than the same computer. I know they're going to stick to the racing line, and I'm going to blow past them and beat them. I'm actually playing, it's like I'm playing Xbox Live all the time, whether I'm playing on live or I'm just chilling playing single player. And I think that's really going to revolutionize games, because it's starting with the racing game, but what if it moves on to a fighting game? What if it moves on to an action adventure game? What if it moves on to an RPG? That's hot. Like, for example, me and Shinwar, like, that's my sensei in the Street Fighter world, whether he wants to admit it or not.
Hold on.
It'd be cool if I could play Street Fighter and play against his AI, against his style, because that would help me adapt. And on the plus side, and on the bonus side of that, it will push him to say, man, people are playing my avatar. I got to step my game up now because it's always out there. So I got to change my strategy because when I actually pick up the sticks, I'm going to know what I do. So it's actually going to force you to become a better gamer so you can excel. I really, really like that.
That's a good idea. Wait a minute, I thought they had something like that before. In the fighting game genre, I believe they had something like that. I remember something about with Justin Wong. I could be wrong, but they were like, go ahead.
It's not as advanced as the Xbox One Cloud. What it does is the version that's out now for Street Fighter and other fighting games is like you can download a player's AI and
right. That's what it was. That's what it was.
It'll stick to that specific moveset. It won't like be an accumulative of what you're doing. It won't combine everything you're doing. It'll just give you like, okay, I'm playing Justin Wong from the time he played Shenhua that time, and this is what he did, and I'll memorize this pattern and beat this specific AI. So it's a rudimentary version of the cloud that's out now, but what is described that Forza is implementing and what can be potentially implemented into other games is just mind-blowing. What do you got to say about that, Shenhua, since you've seen Forza? I know you're not a heavy car game guy, but what do you think about Forza?
You know what's funny? No, you know what's funny? I am. Like, I played the Project Gothams and the Split Seconds, and I was sold on that Forza. Like, when the car came out the floor and Noop was hyping it up, I'm like, yo, that's hot. The graphics, bananas. But yeah, when they talked about the cloud avatar, dude, it's revolutionary. I think it's great. It's about everybody improving and stepping up their game. It just looks good. It looks good, and I think for me, I'm gonna get it. You know what's funny? I've never played a Forza game, and I'll let that be my first one.
All right.
You better get ready,
man. About that.
I wouldn't recommend buying Forza 4 to get ready, because Forza is a tough game, brother. It's a tough game.
Okay.
Because it's simulation, man. So it's a learning curve.
So Nelson, what do you think about Forza 5 and everything that we've discussed so far?
Well, Forza 5, don't get me wrong, it's a really good racing simulator, but I have a difference of an opinion when it comes to this game compared to Gran Turismo. I'm sorry to say, but if it wasn't for Gran Turismo, Forza wouldn't be out. Just saying. But it's definitely pushing the concept of what you can do for racing to a whole new level with the whole cloud gaming, that it basically is an adaptive AI where anything that you do, it learns from you. Or whether if, let's say if I'm fighting against you online, it will take like your AI data and it will recycle it and refunnel it into the actual gameplay, whether if it's single player or multiplayer. And the fact that you get to race in all these tracks, use all these cars and all this other stuff and whatnot, it looks pretty cool, but I still would like to wait till the Sony press conference to see what they do with Gran Turismo 6, because I think, honestly, the more realistic simulator is Gran Turismo, and, Forza is just a copycat. But that's just my opinion, though.
Well, to expound on that, they announced Gran Turismo 6 for PlayStation 3. I thought that was a mistake because you got Forza 5 coming as a launch title for Xbox One, premier driving title, also a system seller, and you're taking one of your premier franchises on PlayStation and leaving it on a PlayStation 3. I think that's a mistake by Sony, but we'll see in about 20 minutes, so we're going to have to speed this up as they do in the demos. For the sake of time, we're going to move on to Dead Rising 3. Capcom bringing an exclusive to the Xbox One And it's not a cartoon, jokey type environment anymore. It's real in the field, folks. They getting serious with it. Dozens and dozens, potentially hundreds of zombies on screen at once.
Yo, they caught the.
Real-time weapon making on the fly. No need to just duck into a room and do it. It is crazy. It is crazy. So I know that's one of Shenwar's favorite series. So I'm going to let him go first on that.
Thank you, sir. I'm a big zombie fan, and when I saw that, dude, like, I'm like, okay, this is a real survival zombie apocalypse game. Like Demizu said, there's none of this cartoony. This is real. You see the character. It's just him. Obviously, there's gonna be survivors out there. You probably gotta look for. Probably gonna have some psychos and maniacs out there, but to see the hordes of zombies busting through fences, coming at you, it gives you that, yo, what do I do next? I just killed one or two or three. I got like 10, 12 coming at me. What do I do? So it's going to make you think about things. That demo they showed was bananas. The guy's driving a car, going through them, and the announcer that was talking about the game was saying that there's no load time, and from what we saw, it looks like there was no slowdown with all those NPCs on the map. Like, it's a new open world game. Hopefully, we'll get some past favorites come back. Some of the past characters come back. Chuck Green. But I'm excited. So
Yeah.
let's go.
All right, brother Newt. I know you were excited because I was talking to you on Xbox Live when we were watching the conference. So tell them why you're excited, man. Let them know.
I'm excited because I finally have a reason to play Dead Rising. I played the demo of the first two, and it seemed okay, but it wasn't enough to make me, want to purchase it. But again, what I love to see is when a company has an older franchise, you're at the third game, and they actually put forth the effort to not only appease the old audience, but do something to draw a new audience. Like we said, they changed the direction of the game. They added new features. I mean, the demo was explosive. I will go out on a limb and say there were probably at least almost 100 zombies on the screen while the player was actively playing at one given time. I would say at least 100. There was a lot, man, and it just blew me away. And again, I love how Xbox is kind of like spearheading the integration of your other devices. The guy had his tablet at the end of the demo.
Oh,
and
yes.
No, not his tablet, his cell phone. With the Smart Glass app, he called in an airstrike. So now my cell phone, my smartphone or my tablet can now be, I guess, a supplementary controller. It's like gaming now. You're going to have a controller. It's like you're going to have a little command center. And it was very hot, yo. It was hot.
That was
all right. I feel you. Nelson, what do you got to say about Dead Rising 3? What'd you think, man?
I thought the game was like really good. It was definitely visually better than 1 and 2. Like they said, no more cartoony type feeling and whatnot. It actually feels like you're in a really fucked up zombie apocalypse situation. It's a new protagonist, which is good. It's always good to see a new face. The stuff that, from what it looks like, as what you mentioned earlier, there's no more running into a shop to make a weapon. It's on the fly. You could be more creative, I guess, in the sense of this game. That weapons have slightly more durability from what I saw in the little clip. You're able to call in an airstrike within your smartphone or Xbox Smart Glass, whichever, it's going to be implemented with that. And like I said, I hope they do bring back, Chuck Green and also Frank West, or even some other old characters from the series, just to make it spicy. I would like to see if the game is co-op. I also would like to see if the game is going to be multiplayer based. And
that'd be great, yo.
And to see if this is going to be the first of many more Dead Rising games, or is this the final? So.
All right, I feel you. And like, if you can't wait to get your zombie fix on, you got to get State of Decay because
Yeah.
that is an awesome, awesome game. But we'll talk about that on another podcast. And right now, I'm going to talk about a major, major coup that Microsoft pulled off. Newt was flipping out this morning when he saw this. Insomniac is bringing a game to Xbox One that is an Xbox One exclusive. And it's called Overdrive, Sunset Overdrive. And it looks crazy. It's crazy, but never mind the game. The fact that Insomniac, one of Sony's leading supporters of the previous 2 generations, is bringing the game over to a Microsoft console. That is huge news. So Newt, man, get into it, man. Tell them why it's so big.
It's so big because Insomniac are the people who brought you Ratchet and Clank, which is one of the greatest selling platformers of all time. So that's just shades of what could be coming to the Xbox. The Xbox has been lacking in the platform department. We've been lacking in the platform department, and Insomniac is known for putting out very creative and unique titles. So I was just extremely happy just to see that developer walk out, because I'm like, yes, that's another score for the Microsoft team. So that's why I was very happy, because I love them as a developer.
All right, I feel you. Shinwar, what do you think about this huge coup by Microsoft bringing Insomniac into the fold?
Hey, Microsoft is putting everything out, putting all their cards out on the deck, man. They ain't playing games. Not too familiar with it, but hey, if y'all excited, I'm excited. And that's all I got to say about that.
All right. Nelson, what do you think about Insomniac making games for Microsoft now? What do you go for it, man? Tell them what's up.
It's definitely a twist. I never would have thought Microsoft would have actually gotten them as a partnership, so I'd be able to make games for them. Because like what Noop said, one of the people who made Ratchet and Clank, also Resistance, for like one of their best FPSs on the PlayStation 3 platform. It's actually good. I mean, the game that they threw out there is kind of like cartoony, wacky in a sense. That's what somewhat Insomniac is known for. But I want to see when Insomniac gets real serious. I want to see what they can really dish out on the Xbox One. But I'm definitely glad, I'm open to having more partnerships join the Microsoft family. It's definitely good news for Microsoft. Hopefully it just keeps updating with more and more new publishers or more new companies. So it's a good look.
Yeah.
All right, I feel you. And we're going to do one last game that a lot of people have been waiting for from this company. And it's done by the people who used to be the makers of the Call of Duty series. And they call themselves Respawn Entertainment now, and they're coming with a new game called Titanfall, and it looks to be a mech shooter and a ground-based war type shooter, and it looks amazing, even though the graphics aren't like that, what you expect to be from like a new next generation standpoint. The gameplay was just mind-blowing, getting in and out of mechs, just running and gunning. Animations were just great. I think it's going to be like how Call of Duty 2 was to Xbox 360 when it first came out. I think that's going to be their big multiplayer game when that drops. So Newt, what'd you think about Titanfall when you saw it?
You have 60 seconds until your Titan is ready. When I heard those words, I was like, what the heck is this lady talking about? I'm watching this little guy run around shooting this robot, and after that 60 seconds was up, you saw a sparkle in the sky, and it got bigger and bigger. Then you saw a burst of smoke as it broke into the atmosphere, and what crash landed right in front of you? A big, beautiful mech. And it was slick the way the guy ran up to the mech, and it grabbed him in its hand and threw him inside the cockpit, and he was getting it on. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I heard some other details about the game, that your mech is specific to your character. So no one can steal your mech, so you can get in and out of it as you please. I did notice that the mechs also ran on autopilot. So while you're out of the mech, your mech can still be doing damage. And oh man, that game just looks fun. Another side note, it's coming out on Xbox One and it's coming out on Xbox 360. Decisions. Do I get it on 360 for those of you who still hold on to your 360? Because Microsoft is still supporting the 360. Or if I know I'm going to get an Xbox One, should I wait? We'll see. But
And also, you also consider, will you be able to play the Xbox One users? Can they fight against Xbox 360 users? Aha.
Alright, since Shinwar bogarted his way in here, we're gonna let him keep going. So go ahead, Shinwar.
Nah, it looked good. The game looked good. Like Noop said, with the mech, taking the character, throwing it in his chest into the cockpit. With first person shooters, you gotta have something new. It can't just always be running, gunning. Throw a different element in there. And it's time to move on. So it looks good. I'm excited.
Nelson, what'd you think about Titanfall, man?
It basically reminded me of Lost Planet and Section 8 combined. That's technically what I got
And Mech
from
Assault.
looking at that. Mech Assault, yeah, I can say that. It's just, we needed a mech game. I'm not going to lie to you. We haven't had a really, really solid mech game besides Mech Assault. You also had, what is it?
I think Mech Warrior?
Is Mech Warrior, I think Chrome Hound. What was the original mech game that came out for Xbox One? The thing that had the big ass Steel Battalion. We haven't had a really solid mech game in a long time, so I'm really excited. It's futuristic. Not only that, but it allows you to play both inside and outside the mech. You're able to, from what I saw in the trailer, you're able to detach from your mech when it's about to blow up, catapult in midair, jump onto the enemy mech, detach their control system, and blast it to smithereens to kill them. Like that shit blew me the fuck away. Like, oh my god. But I can't wait to see what else is going to be within that game. I would like to also know how many people could play in this game. Is it going to only be capped to 16 players, 32, maybe 64 like the PlayStation 3 tried to do? Or probably I don't know if they're going to go that far. I don't remember the game, so don't quote me. But there is a first-person shooter that had at least 128 people playing at the same time. That was on the PlayStation 3. That was the
It was
highest.
Mag.
Thank you.
It was Mag.
I want to know if the Xbox One is capable of having 128 live users or further to be played in open-world games such as this one right here or any other future title. I would definitely like to see how this would work out.
All right. Well, folks, we're gonna jump off here because we got.
Wait! Hold on, Demizzle, real quick.
Put in your final thoughts.
You forgot about.
I'm about to get into that.
You forgot about one game. You forgot about one game.
He left the best for last.
All right. What's the one game I forgot about, people?
Come on.
Go ahead. Put it out there.
No, I'm gonna let y'all say it. Go ahead. Go for it. For it.
You know when that theme song hit? Oh, you know when that theme song hit?
We all know Fable 5 is not Fable, Halo 5. We all know it's coming.
Ouch.
I'm going to watch the Sony conference.
We all know that Halo 5 is coming, and we're gonna get into that. We're going to get into that tomorrow because we do not have the time because that would be like a 30-minute discussion.
No.
So we're going to get some
That's a teaser trailer.
Hold up. We can talk about it. Everyone gets a minute apiece, so start off with Noob. What do you think about Halo 5?
Noob, go ahead.
Pass. Go.
Okay, Shinwar, get ahead.
Shinwar, Halo 5.
Yo, real quick, that teaser trailer, not even a teaser, it was a nice trailer, with Master Chief cloaked, with them rags, and he was in the desert, the sand just fell beneath him, and then that still beast came out. and all you saw was the hood come off, yo, it's time to go to war. But we're at number 5 now, and I feel like 4 just came out. But even though they said that 2014, the year is going to be released, most likely November. So we got some time. I'm glad it's not a launch title. So we got some time to wait, but it's time to go to war again. It's gonna be crazy. That trailer, it looked nice. So I can't wait to see end game.
All
That's
right,
all I got to say
Nelson,
about that.
Halo 5.
Uh,
Nelson, Halo 5, 1 minute, go.
Basically, from what I seen from the announcement trailer of Halo 5, I don't know what the hell they're gonna call it. You basically see Master Chief walking in the desert. What? Like honestly, I didn't even know it was Halo until I saw the mech, which is a Ford Runner machine. And that as soon as I saw that mecha sprout out like angel wings and shit like that, I'm like, oh, don't tell me. Next thing you know, you see Master Chief unveil his like little identity with his helmet all cracked up, so he went through hell already. I really would like to wait to see what happens with the story. I have yet to play the story mode for 4, so I have to catch up on
God.
my Halo series. But I'm definitely hyped that they're making a
What?
next gen Halo game. Yes, I haven't played the story.
All
Yes.
right, good grief, man. But we gonna get some final thoughts and Shinwar, final thoughts, man, before the Sony press conference comes on in 4 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, we gotta hurry up and see that. Once again, this is a great E3 so far. Microsoft did a great job. We still have Sony and Nintendo. But I do like that Microsoft is sparing the way, and I'm really looking forward to Splinter Cell Blacklist. But that's for another time and discussion. Thanks.
Nope, final thoughts, 3 minutes.
All right, really quick. A couple of things we didn't touch on that I'm going to touch on really quick. If you didn't get a chance, go back and look at EA's conference and check out Battlefield 4. They had mad computers set up doing multiplayer. They did something I've never seen in a multiplayer game. The players actually coordinated, went inside of a building and got on the elevator and went to the top floor and were doing battle with enemies on the ground. Again, smart glass integration. One of the guys had a tablet and they said, hey, this tank is blowing the building up. Boom, called in the airstrike from the tablet. It was too late. The guys jumped out of the top floor of a skyscraper and parachuted to the ground. And with the beauty of the Frostbite 3 engine, you could see an entire skyscraper crushing and falling to pieces in real time. Brought a tear to my eye. Loved it. I love the fact that Microsoft is still supporting the 360. They said hundreds of new games, and they also put out a new model of the 360. So I'm glad for that. Other than that, Microsoft, I think you shut a lot of the haters up. I think you shut a lot of the hate down, regardless of your used game policies and stuff like that. I think, me personally as a gamer, I'd be satisfied with an Xbox One. Let's see what Sony has. Over to Brother Nelson.
Nelson Rios, 2 minutes, go.
Basically, I was
Oh, one
impressed.
minute.
Yeah, 1 minute. I was basically impressed
Oh,
with the
1 minute,
Xbox
go.
with the Xbox One conference. I actually liked it. I like the fact that how they brought 2 of my favorite games onto the Xbox One, Metal Gear Solid, and of course Killer Instinct, which will resurrect the old school fighters. But I definitely can't wait to get my console on November, whenever it comes out, whether it's the 1st or the 10th, whatever. I already paid for the shit. I can't wait for it. And yeah, we're about to watch
Oh
the Sony
god.
press conference. So I will take over as the ending of this podcast. I'd like to thank all of you guys for coming on. Shinwar, Noop, and of course the Mizzle, who was co-hosting this. Alex Lexus couldn't be here due to the fact that he's in training until the 28th of this month. But I would like to thank you guys. Please subscribe, follow on Twitch and YouTube. Come back tomorrow of day 2 for us of E3 when we talk about the PlayStation 4 and maybe Nintendo. I don't know if they're doing it, but we'll find out. And this is it of the podcast. See you guys later. I'm not doing no corny call outs. That's it. I'm going